Hello everyone, my name is Mislav Javor, I am the CEO of AMPnet, and today I'm going to be presenting Pontoon DAO, which is a technology built by AMPnet and powered by our APX technology. We are launching on the Near blockchain, and we are very happy to be a part of this first NearCon and to present our vision of bringing real-world assets into blockchain to the world for the first time through the lens of Pontoon DAO. So what is Pontoon DAO? It's a self-governing, yield-bearing index fund generator, fully backed by audited and tokenized real-world assets. Now, that was a mouthful, so let's go slide by slide to explain a little bit what actually is Pontoon DAO. When we say real-world assets, what do we actually mean? Well, real-world assets on blockchain, primarily in the context of AMPnet and Pontoon DAO, mean real estate, renewable energy, company equity, and stocks, like shares in a company. So the goal is to bring these types of assets onto blockchain. So there are multiple ways of doing it, and the way that AMPnet has selected has been one of non-enforcement, where we allow our clients to tokenize on their own rules with their own basically legal structure, but we do help them with a lot of tools that make this transition into blockchain much more easy, and Pontoon DAO is the latest addition to this toolbox. So what are the benefits of real-world assets? Well, one of the main benefits is exposure to productive dividend-generating equity. What I mean by this is that most of the assets that are going to be tokenized actually generate income. So let's say real estate, it generates rental income, renewable energy, it generates income from electricity sales, and companies can earn income on hundreds of different ways by charging for their products and services. And what this does is this creates dividends, which can be through our platform easily distributed to investors in blockchain. Now, this gives basically two things. For certain types of assets, this gives stability and predictable yield to our blockchain investors. So for example, in real estate, there is a level of predictability in the yield. It can vary, of course, but let's say in renewable energy, the yield is extremely stable and extremely predictable, while also being non-negligible in 4 or 5% range. And for companies, there is much less stability, but the potential for earning a yield on the revenues of a company is much, much greater. Beyond that, there is the question of diversification. Crypto markets, they go through bull and bear markets like every other market, but the problem is that still to this day, crypto markets are very much bound by Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up. When Bitcoin goes down, everything else goes down. Real-world assets are generally not bound to Bitcoin, and this makes them an excellent hedge against crypto bear markets. And this is one of the main use cases that we plan to see these real-world assets. So when crypto markets take a bit of a hit, we expect the volume into real-world assets to grow significantly. And when crypto markets get much hotter than usual, we tend to see a bit of a drop-off in interest in real-world assets. So they're an amazing hedge against crypto and an amazing diversification strategy for any high-quality portfolio. But as with each asset class, there are problems. The main one, and I think the biggest one that Pontoon DAO is solving, is the lack of liquidity. So real-world assets generally are stable, not that interesting, not that flashy. They're not the next great thing. They're not the next 100x coin. So there's a lack of interest for trading them. People usually buy them and then hold them for a long time. But this means that these assets tend to become illiquid. So it's very hard to go out of them. So let's say you buy a tokenized real-world asset, it's very hard to move your money away from those real-world assets. And of course, there's always information overload. You need to understand the financials. You need to read how are they going to earn money? How are they going to do dividends? Are they legally properly tokenized? There's 100 questions that need to be answered, and usually investors can struggle with this. And this is why Pontoon DAO has been created in conjunction with AMPnet and the APX platform. So Pontoon DAO is a DeFi native platform which enables anyone to create an index fund of real-world assets. This means that instead of trading a single asset, like let's say a single real estate project or a single renewable energy project, you would trade a much more broad index, which would cover a whole spectrum of basically assets and give this index a much greater amount of liquidity than the individual asset. Pontoon DAO does this by enabling anyone who holds tokens of the real-world asset to swap them for the tokens of the index fund. So for example, you have a real estate index fund, but you hold tokens of a certain real estate project within that fund, you can always go lock your assets and mint them, lock your real estate assets and mint yourself the index fund tokens. This enables continuous liquidity exposure to all of those underlying assets without hurting the price of the index or without actually negatively impacting the underlying assets or the index above it. So, as I said, benefits of Pontoon DAO are basically mostly in aggregated liquidity. So what we do is we take these illiquid assets and we give them a huge amount of liquidity through index funds. Then you can trade those index funds on your favorite decentralized exchange. You can use it as collateral on your favorite protocol. You can use it as a lending thing for some money market protocols like, for example, Aave or MakerDAO or something like this. And there is also one additional thing. Pontoon DAO, by its nature, enables passive investing. So basically, you can put money into Pontoon DAO and have it invest your money into these real-world assets, and then mint you the index tokens without you actually doing anything, just sitting on it. So we are also, beyond presenting Pontoon DAO, we are presenting 3 initial indexes, which will all be powered for now by AMPnet technology, but we also invite other tokenization platforms to join us in this effort. The first one is Central and Eastern Europe Commercial Real Estate Index, which will kick off with a project that I will present very soon. It's basically backed by high-quality commercial real estate from Central and Eastern Europe. The other one is Tokenized Stock Index, which will be backed by tokenized stocks of NASDAQ and NYSE listed companies. This still remains to be announced, which will be the initial assets, and we are still working on providing a partner who will hold the tokenized stocks, but more info on that soon. And then there is also the Real Estate Investment Trust Index, which will be based by tokenized real estate investment trusts, which are basically large companies holding various types of real estate assets. So as I mentioned, the presentation of the case study project, the first project that we will be presenting on Pontoon DAO through AMPnet is the Green Gold parking. So Green Gold is the biggest, most modern, maybe not the biggest, but most modern and one of the biggest commercial real estate buildings in all of Croatia. They are tokenizing their underground parking section, which is generating around 1.1 million euros each year in revenue. They have been using discounted cash flow valuation to come up with a $13 million valuation, which will be the first asset in the commercial real estate index for Central and Eastern Europe in Pontoon DAO. Beyond this, it's been quite a hidden thing at us. AMPnet has been building a stock tokenizer, a platform which enables anyone to tokenize stocks from any major world stock exchange. We will be presenting this project very soon, and when the project goes live, we will be creating an index in Pontoon DAO, which will be trading with tokenized stocks and tokenized shares of companies listed on major world exchanges. As I mentioned, all of this is powered by AMPnet. AMPnet is a platform which enables anyone to easily tokenize their real-world assets, and AMPnet also has a decentralized APX protocol which enables decentralized audits of the quality and legality of tokenization of those assets. So with Pontoon DAO and AMPnet together, you will get liquidity, verification, you will get exposure to high quality assets and a hedge against crypto bear markets while retaining basically a high level of stability in those assets. So we are very happy to see what the future holds, and hopefully you join us on this journey to make Pontoon DAO the definitive way to invest into real world assets through blockchain. Thank you very much.